If you're not experiencing a life of joy, creativity, fulfillment, and meaning, then you are out of alignment with your authenticity. And this lunar crescent that just showed up in the sky last night shows us the picture of the whole 30-day cycle ahead. And it showed up in the constellation of Leo. I'll talk a little bit about that. And also, first, within this cycle, we just had the dawning of a whole new spiritual year also. The fixed star Sirius just showed up in the sky after being invisible under the rays of the sun. And this star is in a symbiotic relationship with our solar system, with our sun, so that it dictates the precession of the equinoxes, the larger 26,000 year cycle that shows us the turn of the ages. And this entire year-long cycle ahead, Sirius showed up with the benevolent planets, the two most benevolent planets in our solar system, Venus and Jupiter, together at their conjunction with the fixed star Sirius, which shows that we have the power for benevolent new beginnings, especially with the sun and the moon in the constellation of Leo. Especially as leaders, we can lead the way just with shifting our state into a state of focus on joy and fulfillment. And so I wrote some notes here about what's going on so I don't forget anything. And so this new lunar crescent showed up in the Leo constellation to highlight this truth for us that affects this entire new 30 days ahead. And the 30 days is a fractal of the whole of the year, right? So it's a very important part of the year that begins a spiritual new year. And we have the knowledge and opportunity presenting itself in multiple ways to remind us to begin to shift into a state of playfulness. The sign of Leo is ruled by the sun and creativity and leadership, and this creativity that creates joy, that magnetizes the people and situations that we want to attract regardless of what others are doing or experiencing. And this is how we shift the whole, by being the ones to go first. And when you decide to set the tone rather than going along with what you see others are doing, you're helping to change the game of life for all of us. Going against the grain deliberately from a place of courage and intention to stay in authenticity and to trust that one fractal changes the whole is what a benevolent leader does. And Jupiter, Venus, Sirius, the moon, and the sun are all reminding of us, of reminding us of this during this time, and giving us an energy to ignite that more into our lives during these changing times. So in aspect to that, Saturn, Neptune, and Mars are drawing a conflicting energy to help us create the changes. The conflicts help us to create change from a place of discernment, from what we've learned from our past karmic experiences of difficulties. So now is definitely the time to let go of any struggles of the past suffering that you've endured, that we've endured. So your state especially affects the state of your relationships, the state of your environment, the state of your finances, the state of everything going on in your life. Whether or not you're experiencing a life of meaning and fulfillment, and you're contributing that to others' lives too. And it affects the state of the relationships that, and what else you want to magnetize in all areas of life. So we do not have to deny what we've been through, right? We've gained so much knowledge from those experiences, and we don't need to ignore our feelings, but we do need to be willing to put it behind us now to make the most of this opportunity in this time of new beginnings. And the beginning that we see and the beginning that we intentionally create shows the whole for this entire new cycle ahead, and for our spiritual year ahead, from August to August, from lunar cycle, the beginning of a lunar cycle, to the beginning of the next lunar cycle that marks every 30-day period. You will not lose anything through doing this, through focusing on joy and fulfillment, except you'll lose your pain, right? And your pain has served a purpose, but now it's time for another way. It's time to focus on play. And play, if experienced with presence and awareness, can be deeply healing to the mind, the body, the soul. It's a way to expand the energy and attract what we want into our lives. So just like, have you ever seen someone who is smiling when they're doing something that they love? And they're absolutely magnetic. They're beautiful. They're so attractive in their joy. And that joyful energy, it attracts you to whatever you need and desire, so that, and it makes it so that you experience even more joy in your life by doing this. So like attracts like, right? This is universal law. So you naturally have that joyful, relaxed, and attractive energy within you. We all do. We were born this way. And it's time to tune in again and allow it to heal you and transform your world. So you'll know when you are in an aware, present state of playfulness, because you feel a sense of well-being, relaxation, openness, trust. You'll probably also feel more spontaneous and at peace. And this will feel better than constantly striving and enduring life as though it were a marathon. There will be times when your ability to endure will be required to get you through a challenge, but living your life as though it were a constant challenge with no time out for play is going to drain your vitality and your lightness of heart. That's the best way to suffering, basically, right? So this more joyful and open way of life is what you deserve as part of your human experience. So the question is, will you allow yourself to relax and receive? Otherwise, it can be a little bit like the Divine Mother is standing at your front door, beckoning you to come outside and enjoy a game while you try to ignore her because you have too much work to do, right? So, and we can even approach our work through a playful energy too, and find what we love in our work. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But there are many good things that the energy is ripe for bringing many good things into your world. So by having fun in your life, this opens the door for more pleasure. So to purposefully step into this energy of creative power, I suggest writing a pleasure list. So your pleasure list is a list of at least 12 actions or experiences that you can remind yourself of to exit the suffering matrix and shift into your authentic state. And just by making this list, just the act of making this list will shift you. It'll shift your state automatically without even taking time out to go do the things on the list, right? And of course, I suggest you definitely take time out for pleasure. Otherwise, what's the point, right? But the list includes things that you've done in your past, things that you enjoy doing in your present, and what you would look forward to in your future. So it can include anything seemingly simple, mundane, or more extravagant, whatever brings pleasure, which creates joy. So, for example, on my pleasure list, I have things like sitting outside, enjoying the cool breeze on my skin, swimming in the sea, petting the cat, dancing with my friends or taking a dance class, cooking a yummy, nourishing meal for my family, enjoying a yummy coffee while I take time getting ready for the day, visiting with my friend, my best friend, enjoying being taken on a fun date with my man. My creative writing brings pleasure. Taking a hike in the mountains or a walk outside in nature. Masterminding with leaders who I admire. Shopping with my daughter, playing laser tag with my sons, and I always enjoy winning as a bonus. Helping my mother with whatever she needs, and she's older, and I love to contribute whenever I see her. And so it can be these seemingly mundane things that bring you pleasure, just the small joys in life, right? But also taking time out for bigger things too. So it's time now. We're called on to really lighten up in body and mind and soul, and this can be accomplished simply in the act of listing your pleasures on a piece of paper and then referring back to them often when you're having a hard time, if you're sick or feeling depleted, or just in an uncomfortable state. Now, if you believe that choosing to let go of your attachments to past pain and all that you have endured means you will have suffered for nothing, then you're being asked to see things another way now, okay? So you've learned from those experiences. You've always done your best and you've lived the best way that you could, but now there's another way for you to learn and live. And there's no denial of the value of all that has gone on in your life, just an opportunity to consider opening up to the new way of being presented to you. And when you're connected to the divinities and the stories within your soul blueprint, you're connected to your purpose. All the stars were aligned in a certain configuration to form your star map at the moment of your birth. And when you're connected to this, to your authenticity, as read in this star map given to you by heaven, everything that you touch, you can definitely receive more. You magnetize the right relationships easily and quickly, and you magnetize more of what you do desire into your life when you can see how your whole game of life is to play out, the energies offered to you, the intricacies of your divinity, which divinities are here to help you as read in the ancient Babylonian chart. Astrology didn't begin in ancient Greece. It ended there. It actually began in ancient Mesopotamia and Sumer and Babylon. And this is where I read your star map from, the way the ancient priests and priestesses read the star maps to the royalty, to the kings and the queens. And this has been hidden from us for the past 2,000 years and even more. And today I'm in this ancient town of Side, Turkey, and where we have all of the 2,000, 3,000 year old temple of Apollo. This is an ancient bathhouse temple that's 3,000 years old. The temple of Demeter is here. The temple of Athena is here. And it's just such a fresh, vibrant energy that I came here to discover. So I'll be posting more about this. But in the meantime, you will want to book your birthrights activation if you want more fulfillment and joy and meaning in your life, and the clear map to get you there. So I will drop that down in the comments, in the description under this video. I'm offering those activations at a discounted rate just for this lunar cycle right now. So go in and grab yours. I only have a limited number available on my calendar. And reach out to me, leave me a comment, leave me a question below, and let me know how you're doing right now and what you expect and in this lunar cycle ahead. And be sure to subscribe.